Tigers. Give me the hot sauce. Bill Buck. Give me the hot sauce. What are you doing, Dragons? Did you not get the memo? Derrick Rose can go upstairs. Woo! Let me step back and kiss myself. MVP time. Windy City Assassin does it again. Big time players make big time plays. Give me the hot sauce. Give me the hot sauce, Buck.
We are back in the Hustle and Flow studios for episode 42 of Gimme the Hot Sauce. I am your humble host, Mark Shanowski, joined as always by the star of the show, Stacey King. Stinger is here along with Southside Susan and Timmy Whispers, back from Nashville and Las Vegas and parts unknown. You know, we're trying to get him to show up on time for the show. He's trying, you know, if you're watching on YouTube, you see a guy awkwardly trying to lean into Susie's shot. But
I can move.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. You know, the only thing he's going to do is say something that's going to offend everybody anyway. So, you got some good ones from Life on the Road, Whispers? Yeah, I'm sure he will. He's off mic already.
I tell you right now, I walked in the office and the first thing I thought I was at Red Lobster. And then I see because Larry the Lobster is back. He was as red as a lobster, America. I hope everybody can see Timmy Whispers because he loves the sun. I don't know what he does out there.
You know what's going to happen? He's going to sit down and his microphone won't work.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what almost always happens.
But I guarantee
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Timmy, you there?
1, 2, 3.
Oh, wow. He's on mic.
But there's no
you can put the headsets on.
The skin is like porcelain. There's no blemishes.
Yeah, no, he's not dried up like a raisin. He's got good skin.
We got to get you on the YouTube feed. You know, it doesn't work.
God, this guy here, man, comes in late to class.
This is a stream. You know, we need to see it.
Guy overslept. God, come on, man.
Dog ate his homework.
Yeah,
you know, it's
my God.
Get all the excuses in the world.
Every excuse.
We should start after 5. You know what I mean?
we already started Whispers. You know, if you know what I mean. It is happy hour in the Hustle and Flow studio, even though it's what day is today? Monday?
Yeah, it's Monday.
Yeah. We're recording on Monday, August 16th. It's my son's birthday, Eric. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Eric.
His 29th birthday.
And John Walsh's birthday.
It's
this week, the 19th.
Hey, happy birthday in advance.
My neighbor, Tim, gave me the card.
You stole that? He gave it to him, Stacey.
He can't be giving me cards.
I think that picture is actually of Tim. I think it is. It looks just like Tim when he was younger.
Who's that card of?
His name is Friend, and it's Owen Friend is his name.
What's it worth?
I haven't checked it out yet, but speaking of which.
Yeah, I know. The Honus Wagner card. Yeah.
We'll get to that later. $6.6 million, a T206 card. Okay,
we just got to it now.
Yeah, okay. Well, just,
we crossed that off the rundown.
My good friend Mark Seguro is here, and he had opportunity to go in the bin last night.
No way.
No.
He let you see the bin?
Yes.
The infamous bin?
Yeah, we went down and it was phenomenal. It was the whole thing. We did not oil up. We did not put on.
Is there like weird mood lighting and everything? And play a recording of an open?
No, but you remember in Indiana Jones when they opened the ark?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
The glow just came out. And I just reached in and I pulled out one pack. No, not one pack, one stack. And everyone was a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did he show you the Ted Williams card he stole from his neighbor?
That's in a special spot.
Well, Mark, I'm just surprised that he didn't try to take you down with a single leg and put oil on you and then make you wear one of those singlets that he normally wears when he goes down there. So thank goodness that he allowed you to walk down there in your clothes that you came in.
You hear what he said? All Hall of Famers.
Oh,
just a random pack of cards.
Yeah, but are there crushed edges with it? Not mint condition.
They're stuck to the gum.
No, I think most of them were pretty good.
Pretty mint, yeah.
Some of them were worked up.
He didn't have them in his bicycle spokes when he was a kid or whatever.
No.
You know, America. We've been hearing about this tub for the longest since November. It's been a while. You know, the Gimme the Hot Sauce crew never gets invited to go see the tub. We just, hey, Susan, I'm talking. Okay. Anyway, before I was rudely interrupted by Southside Susan over there, who's going to come to her man's defense. We knew it was coming. Anytime you say anything about the stinger, here comes Southside like a true Southside woman. She's not going to leave her man, America. That's the kind of woman you want to marry. Men, marry a woman like Southside. Okay, don't marry a woman like Northside because you might not stay with her. Okay, I'm just saying, America. I'm just saying. Okay. But anyway, I would like to be invited to the Walsh estate.
Here we go again.
Yeah, here we go.
That's all I want. That's all I want. A formal invitation.
Stacey, they had a get together yesterday. We were invited.
Yes, no. Mark. Mark, listen. First of all, Tim didn't bring the ribs, so he wasn't coming. Second of all, like they invited you formally. They said, Mark, come out and sit out and have a beer and just drink and have a good time.
I appreciate it.
And then, and you appreciated it.
Yeah.
Okay. They came to me and they said, Stacey, we're having to get together. We'd like you to serve hors d'oeuvres. We'd like you to serve shrimp, cocktails, and the beer. And then when you do all that, no one wants any more shrimp or beer.
Yeah.
You can sit down. I'm like, wow, okay. That sounds like a lot of fun, Southside Susan.
We actually FaceTimed him from the party.
He did.
He looked like it was 11 o'clock at night. He's in his office with his jersey.
Because I never stop working. I never stop working. I'm constantly working.
It's all about the show, John.
It's all about the show, John.
Yeah.
It's Gimme the Hot Sauce. We never stop working. We're like, what is it? Is it Dunkin' Donuts? America runs on Dunkin'. Well, America runs on Gimme the Hot Sauce.
It was midnight oil, and I think we should get right.
Speaking of oil,
I think
speaking of oil, as John lathers himself as he's getting ready to start talking.
Hey, John, you'll appreciate this. Yesterday on the ABC 7 top-rated 10 o'clock news, the story before sports was about wiffle ball. It was a wiffle ball competition, and they showed this, bad picture, not really having a lot of movement on this stuff, and the news anchor read it, and she just read the copy just the way it was prepared for her by one of the writers, and she was talking about, the wiffle ball is a lot like baseball, except with the holes in the ball. It can spin at odd angles. It's kind of like circus baseball, and I'm like, what?
Circus baseball?
Yeah.
So then they throw it to me. You ever play wiffle ball? I wanted to drop your name, but I didn't know if it would work with such a large audience.
Yeah, you should have.
I produce Cubs ABC.
Yes,
they know me.
they know John
Your
Walsh.
guy Larry knows me. I work
The
for those
name
guys.
John Walsh rings in Chicago.
And he was offering $100 to anybody who could get a hit off of him at Salute.
Well, that's
Remember
what I'm
that?
saying. Only a few of us got hits.
I did get hit out west. The drone guy challenged me, and he had his wiffle ball in his van. And I said, "Is that a wiffle ball and a bat?"
Oh wow!
So I did.
Is that a wiffle ball? Or you're just happy to see
Are
me?
you happy to see me? Let it go.
Boy, that was my life.
He did go awful on me.
Woo! Oh my God!
Into
That's
this
a good one,
ravine.
Marcus. The show's starting off great, America.
Yeah,
Monday, we're on a roll.
I
We're
can't
on a
wait for
roll.
these sponsors. All these sponsors are gonna line up.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh,
So now we got to talk about sports, right?
no.
Well, yeah. I mean, we got big news in Chicago that we hit
Big
last.
news.
Big news.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, last time we came to you was about all the free agent news with the Chicago Bulls. And, now they met the media for the first time. And you can see, Stacey, that there's this respect, this camaraderie already between Lonzo Ball and DeMar DeRozan. It's like a mutual admiration society.
Listen, America, Chicago. I'm super excited about this team. I listen. I wish the season started when we got all these people last week, whenever it was.
Won't be long.
I'm so excited because this, to me, I haven't been this excited since we got Derrick Rose in the draft at number 1, because there was no reason in the world we should have got Derrick Rose with the odds, and we did. So I was super excited. I'm telling you, this is put the Bulls right in the mix now. They go from being a team on the outside looking in, not enough talent to get, scraping to get to the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th spot. This solidifies them on paper only, on paper. So you still got to play the games. Top 5 team in the Eastern Conference with the possibility of moving up depending on what Philadelphia does with Ben Simmons. If Philadelphia moves away from Ben Simmons, the Bulls could leapfrog that team. So I'm excited. I'm super excited. This is, I think, everybody in Chicago. When was the last time, and I'm being honest, I mean, when was the last time the Bulls conversation went this deep into the summer? You got the White Sox playing well. The
Justin
Cubs,
Fields.
Yeah, Justin Fields. You got the Cubs with a fire sale. The dollar store.
Everything must go.
Everything must go. So when was the last time, other than when
2012 with Derrick Rose?
Yeah. I mean, there has not been this much excitement. And it's fun to look on Twitter, social media. It's fun to listen to. The fans are excited every time I walk outside. We're going to the playoffs. Give me the hot sauce. I'm like, oh, okay. Okay.
And we should mention coming up in our next segment, we're going to be joined by Nick Friedell, a longtime Bulls reporter for ESPN 1000. And we're going to give Nick a hard time. You know, he appeared on The Jump with Rachel Nichols, and he said the Bulls are going to finish 12th in the East.
With the new team.
Yeah.
With everybody we got now.
Yeah. So we got to talk to Nick.
Puff pass, Nick Friedell. Well, I don't know what you're smoking. I don't know what you're smoking in San Francisco. But yeah, I'm definitely going to get
We got to talk some sense in 12.
That's worse than we did last year. What? Oh, slick Nick.
You know, some Bulls fans were a little concerned about the amount of money that they gave to DeMar DeRozan, 3 years, about $82 million. And I always think, it's not your money. Why are you worried about it? You know?
Let me just say this. The Bulls understand, this new front office understands what it takes. Okay. I've always said from day one, when AK and Mark came in, they knew exactly what they wanted to do. They had a plan and they have stuck to it. Mm-hmm. They went out last year in, you know, people were talking about, oh, why would we give up a first round pick for Vucevic? Because he's an all-star. Right. And we know that a bird in the hand beats two in the bush. You don't know what a first round pick is going to be unless you got the top 3 or 4 players in the draft. Other than that, you just don't know. So you do got a proven commodity, 2010 guy rolling out of bed, pairing him with Zach LaVine, 2 all-stars. Get Lonzo Ball. Now,
pass first point guard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now DeMar DeRozan says, whoa, look what they're doing in Chicago.
Right.
I want to play there.
Because
he was supposed to go to Clippers.
Yeah.
He wanted to play in Los Angeles.
That's where he's from.
So he wanted to play the Clippers. The Clippers supposedly was on their way to his house to get him. And then, you know, AK, when it slid on the floor like, you know, Tom Cruise in Risky Business, slid right in and got him and took him right on out. And
you might as well turn a car around. You're not getting him.
You might as well just turn around, buddy. You're not going to get him. Yeah. And that's what happened. And then, so now the Bulls are showing other free agents, because this goes beyond just this year. You know, this contract these guys are on. This goes on for the next 10 years now, because people are saying, well, I like what they're doing in Chicago. Chicago is a desirable city. See, people before thought, oh, nobody wants to come to Chicago because it's cold. No, they didn't want to come to Chicago because there wasn't a winning team. They weren't interested in rebuilding. Now you're past the rebuilding stage. You have something solid that these guys can look at. And if they're winning 50 games a year and getting deep in the playoffs, who knows? Who else wants to come here in a few years?
And the last starter who we didn't mention yet, Patrick Williams, really shining in Summer League, being more aggressive at a 30-point game. And I think that's the only critique that we had of his game. Need to be more aggressive, take the open shot when you got it. And I think the coaching staff said, let's work on this in the summer. They shut him down after 3 games, but he showed some signs that he's going to be a nice fit. He's going to move over to that power forward spot, 6'8", 6'9", 220. He can handle himself there.
Well, the interesting thing is going to be out of him, because when we talked about him shooting more and being more aggressive, you know, the team that he was on last year, that was the time he needed to do that.
Right. Now he's got to do that.
Now he's going to have to figure out a way to exist with these other players.
Run the court.
Yes. Yeah. Run the court, get rebounds, you know, set up the offense off the glass, take it at 94 feet, hitting open shots when he has it, take the post ups when he has it. See, if you brought back that same roster that they had last year, now you want him to go and be more aggressive scoring wise and get his points up. Now with this team that they're bringing in, he has to blend his talents in with these guys that they have on that roster. You have all-stars on that roster now, and he's a budding star. And I still think he can shine doing a lot of things he was doing last year. Still be a defensive stopper, use his athleticism running the court, because you got a point guard now that's going to push the ball up the floor. You're going to have wings getting out and run. You're going to be seeing lob city. Guys are going to be catching lobs left and right. And if you play with Lonzo Ball, you want to run. You want to get out and run, because he's a pass first point guard. He's not a guy that's looking for his own offense. He's looking to get everybody easy baskets.
Well, I know you work in 24/7, so I'm sure you saw the Bulls Summer League game on Sunday night with Io, 26 points.
Yes.
You know, with Patrick Williams out, they put the ball in his hands. He was attacking the rim. He was doing some nice things, and he may not get a lot of minutes as a rookie, but he's a guy that can really help long term.
Let me just say this, Chicago. That kid can play.
He's from Chicago.
Let me tell you something. This kid was a first-round talent that slipped to the second round.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and the Bulls hit a home run with that pick. To be able to get, was it 38th pick? 38th pick. To not have a first-round pick and get first-round talent, you got to slap yourself on the back and say, great job, because that kid really shouldn't have been there. So now you get him. He's got great size. And that's what I like about this team is that the versatility that they're going to have at all the positions now. You're trotting out a 6'6" point guard. When was the last time we saw a 6'6" point guard in Chicago? Other than Ron Harper, that kind of guard. Now you got a guy that can play both ends. You got DeRozan, who's about 6'7". Zach's 6'6". So your key positions, your athletic positions are really tall, athletic guys. And then you throw in Patrick Williams at 6'9", adds a whole different dimension. You can switch defensively so many. Now, this is where the switching really is prevalent with this team because you have the same size guys in the same positions. They all can switch defensively, and you should never be, mismatched at any time.
And then you've got Alex Caruso, Kobe White, Troy Brown Jr. coming off the bench. You've got some guys who can play some defense. It's not just scores coming off the bench.
Caruso was a steal.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look between the numbers and if you're an analytics guy, his numbers defensively jump off the paper. Okay. Don't get caught up in all he can dunk and he's athletic, it looks like he's 40 years old.
Elmer Fudd with the headband.
Hey, come on now. Come on, Mark. You can't talk about my guy like that. He's here. He can get to you.
Yeah,
the other guys can't get to you, but he can get to you. You remember you called me Elmer Fudd? Okay. So remember that he can get to you. But you have this kid. He's got good size as well. He can play, 1, 2, or 3. He can shoot the basketball. He's a very good 3-point shooter. But his calling card is defense. A lot of people get caught up in his athleticism. But at the end of the day, when you watch him play, he's really a ball hawk. He likes to get up in people's chests. He likes to get steals, play in the passing lane, get out in transition, get up to the rim, dunk it, shoot the 3. That's a great pickup. So you look at the Bulls' whole roster, it's just been overhauled. It's a completely different roster. Denzel Valentine's not there anymore. Felicio card didn't work to get back into the birth didn't get back in the Advocate Center.
Access denied.
So they got a whole different roster. And what's the kid's name that's playing on Summer League that's jumping really, really high? Is it Baxter?
Baxter, yeah.
Keep him. I'm telling you, keep that kid. That kid reminds me of the guy that was in Miami, the dunk contest winner that had to work his way
Derrick
up.
Jones Jr.
Derrick Jones Jr.
You see the dunk, he threw it off the wall
very similar athlete. Yeah. And if you look what Derrick did, he had to work his way into being the player that he is, and then he parlayed that into playing time, and then boom, got a contract. These kids just don't find on the streets. Got long, athletic. When he's played well. It's a guy that I would say would be a candidate for a two-way player and someone you could develop long-term for future. I like him.
And they brought your guy, Javonte Green, back. He signed his qualifying offer.
One of my favorites, baby. I thought he earned the right to be on this team last year.
That last year.
He's another kid that's a hard nose. He played on a very good team in Boston. He knows how to play. He's been very well coached with Brad Stevens, so he understands the things that you need to be a good player. He comes in with athleticism. He can play either guard spot. He's tough. He's hard-nosed, kind of like a Marcus Smart type player. He could be that Marcus Smart player for us.
And the rumor that's making the rounds on Monday is that the Bulls may be interested in pursuing a sign and trade for Lauri Markkanen with the Dallas Mavericks, with their target being Maxi Kleber, who is a nice player for the Mavericks, a good athlete, can shoot the 3 a little bit.
Well, you're kind of getting the same player, basically.
Yeah, but I mean, you've got to get that back.
I'm just being honest, America. This show, I'm honest. Okay,
but Lowry wants out. Yeah, I mean, he wants a fresh start.
You know what? I mean, it's sad too because I thought Lowry would be really nice with this team. He would have to come off the bench, but I thought he'd be a great piece to play with these guys, and so I think later on down the line when you look at your career, and you had an opportunity to be on something special and win. And then, what if it doesn't happen somewhere else? What if you go to Dallas? Because that's where he wants to go. Let's just be honest. Right. I mean, that's where he wants to go.
Play with Luka and
Porzingis. But, I mean, Porzingis is not happy.
No.
Porzingis is not happy.
They might move him if they get Lowry.
Porzingis is, in his mind, he's a number 1 guy.
Yeah.
Luka is a top 3 player in the NBA in the world.
He got paid like it too.
And he's I mean, seriously, he's the man on that team. He makes that team go.
Yeah.
You take Luka off that team barely wins 20 games with Porzingis as the main guy.
Right.
Okay. Now you're bringing Lowry on there. Lowry here, you got opportunities here to be the man. You had your time. You could shoot anytime you want to. That's not going to happen in Dallas. So you got to be careful what you want, because it's not all the grass is not always greener on the other side.
Well, we got our man Nick Friedell waiting in the Sriracha green room, and we're going to see what he's smoking.
Nick,
with that prediction of what the Bulls are going to do next season. Nick Friedell is on deck, and we got some speaks with him, as the great Steve McMichael would
talk
say.
To him. Sriracha.
We are back on episode 42 of Gimme the Hot Sauce. We didn't run through our normal thing where we talked about great numbers, but when you think of 42, the one guy that really stands out, Jackie Robinson, broke the color barrier in Major League Baseball. His number retired across the major leagues. Always a day honoring Jackie in April. Mariano Rivera just entered the Hall of Fame, the greatest closer of all time. Guy I always think about is, from my youth, Paul Warfield. He played for the Cleveland Browns and the Miami Dolphins when they had the perfect season. One of the greatest receivers of all time. And one of the greatest beat reporters of all time. Nick Friedell is our special guest on episode 42 of Gimme the Hot Sauce, joining us from the Bay Area. Nick, thanks for jumping on. And it's been an interesting offseason already. A lot of moves being made around the NBA. How much has this altered the landscape in terms of the power structure in the NBA?
A fair amount, Mark, but I think the key is for all these teams, they're all trying to figure out what happens, especially in the West seeding wise. Because I think up at the top of the East, you've got Milwaukee, who just won it. Brooklyn, if they stay healthy, they feel like they're going to win it.
The Bulls.
And then you've going in early here.
He snuck it in.
Oh no, the Bulls. Oh, I mean, Mark, let's just go into it right now.
Clarify that, because we killed you in the last segment when we saw the thing on Twitter where Nick Friedell predicted the Bulls would finish 12th in the East, and we're like, "What are you smoking?" I mean, clarify that because you've got a lot of friends in Chicago, and we don't want to hang you out to dry like that.
No. This is another example of not everybody.
Damn media.
Actually clicking on the link and watching what's happening.
Read the story or watch the show.
That's right. I go on the jump and they're asking me, do I think the Bulls have improved? And I say, yeah, I do think the Bulls have improved. I think they've gotten a little bit better. But my whole point was I've covered Jerry and Mike Reinsdorf for years and years, and it surprises me that they would okay all these moves, because while I do think they've gotten better, I don't think they've gotten that much better. And that certainly they're not, in my opinion, a title contender. And then my colleague and my buddy, Tim Bontemps, he's next to me. He goes, well, I don't know what the hell the Bulls are doing. The Bulls could finish up like the 11th or 12th seed. And so somebody takes the picture.
Friedell predicts.
That's right. And George Sedano is like, Friedell and his buddies say the Bulls are going to be 12th seed next year. And I'm like, the 12th seed? I mean, I don't think it's that grim. But guys, I looked at all those moves, and I do think they've improved. But I mean, defensively, yikes. And I know they were 11th last year in efficiency. And Billy Donovan is a hell of a coach. So I think they can get there a little bit more. But man, oh man, I mean, the fervor inside Chicago, we all know very well. But I was surprised how much backlash that got, because I was like, damn. I mean, do people really want just some semblance of a winner that badly? Because I think they're a fringe playoff team, but I don't think it's much more than that.
Nick, I'm strongly disagreeing with you. You my boy, but I'm strongly disagreeing with you. When you just ended that last statement with their fringe playoff team.
Yeah, I did.
We were a fringe playoff team last year with Felicio. And you're going to tell me, and Denzel Valentine and all these other guys, we have upgraded the roster tremendously at every position, especially in the starting five. And I think, listen, I will agree with you on one thing. They have to be committed to the defensive side of the ball if they really want to make the strides that they should be able to make, because we know they're going to be able to score with anybody. But can they stop teams on a nightly basis? And I think that's where people on the outside that are not in Chicago look at and go, well, who are they going to stop? They're not, Zach wasn't a good defensive player, never has been. The jury's still out on Lonzo. Is he really a defensive stopper? So I can see the outside people saying that, but I think if they really, Billy Donovan can get them to commit to playing defense on a nightly basis, fringe playoff is really harsh. It's harsh. Come on, man.
Stace, I love you, so let's go through the East. let's walk through the East right now. Okay. And assuming health, and we all know better than anybody what can happen when one injury comes down the wrong way. But Milwaukee, Brooklyn, they are much better than where the Bulls are at. Miami, I think, is significantly better than where the Bulls are. Then you've got the Knicks with Tibbs. Atlanta had a hell of a nice run. They figure to be back in there somewhere. We haven't mentioned Philly yet. That's a team that was at the top of the East all season long. So right there, that's 6. That's
okay.
6 right there. So
I agree with you.
That, we're talking about in a best case, and this is my whole point. I'm not saying don't improve because, hey, good for Mike and Jerry. They're spending the cash. That's clear. And Karnisovas and Eversley, that is a distinct shift change, especially giving away all those draft picks. I mean, Gar and Pax, not in a million years would they have given up all those picks for all these guys, especially, and we can get into it, guys, but the DeRozan deal. I mean, I like DeRozan, but giving up all that and then giving him $30 million.
But when you look at the East, though, Nick, and here's what I do agree with you as far as Milwaukee and Brooklyn, and I would even throw Philadelphia, depending on what they do with Simmons.
Atlanta's nice too.
I'm not sold on Atlanta because because Atlanta was a crappy team in the first half season. And they switched coaches and all of a sudden they turned and they won. So I don't know consistently they're going to play the way they did in the second half, even with Nate McMillan as a coach. So, but I'm saying your 3 top teams, Philadelphia, Brooklyn, Milwaukee, those are givens. After that, I don't know if New York is going to be as good as they were this year. They surprised a lot of people, and a lot of it was Tibbs and Julius Randle. But Julius Randle was pretty much figured out in the playoffs. And Nick, you've been around this game a long time. Once someone figures out your strengths and weaknesses, they carry it over to the next year. That's what happened to Giannis his first few times in the playoffs. Everybody they figured out hey, keep him out the paint, make him shoot. That's the way to beat him. And then he started working on his outside game, started hitting some free throws here and there, and now he's a champion. So Atlanta, New York, I'm not sold on those teams being top teams. I'm not sold on them.
What about Stingers Celtics? You haven't weighed in on Boston.
Celtics
they
in
picked
Miami.
Up Dennis Schroeder for nothing, a bag of chips.
Miami. I don't know. I mean, you got Jimmy and you got Bam and you got is it Oladipo?
Kyle Lowry.
You got Lowry.
But here's the thing.
PJ Tucker.
Here's the thing with Miami is there's so many personalities on that team, and Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler wants the ball in his hands all the time. You got a true point guard now in Kyle Lowry who wants the ball in his hands too. How does that dynamic work? It's been able to work in Miami so far because Dragic had no problem, taking off and being off the ball. But you think Kyle Lowry is going to be one to do that?
Nope.
It could get stays now. Let's take Miami because we all know Jimmy pretty well. The thing that I think saves them here is he has got a long-time relationship, at least in the last few years. It's grown a lot stronger with Kyle Lowry. Mm-hmm. So Lowry knows exactly what he's walking into, and Jimmy knows exactly the type of player that Kyle can be. And I think at this stage, having won in Toronto the way he did, and now trying to get back to that level, everybody's got to buy into it. But, even if and I wholeheartedly believe the Knicks are going to be at least better than the Bulls. I mean, in this argument, the Knicks may fall off a little bit, but I'd give you guys
Tibbs. Come on now.
I love Tibbs, but I'll give you this anecdotal evidence, and I think it's important because I was talking to Taj for a story I put together a couple months ago, and it was how the Knicks have kind of bought in, and certainly and specifically Julius Randle has bought into the Tibbs way, and we saw it with guys like Luol and Joakim and Derek early on in their tenure. And Taj's story to me was he's like, look, I'm sitting in this film room every day and I'm looking around and it feels like deja vu. And every time I see these guys, it feels like I'm looking back at the beginning of the Tibbs tenure in Chicago. And guys, we know all the ups and downs. We know what happened to Derek. It's not worth going through all that. But I think we'd all agree that, especially in those first few years, everybody was on the same page and they knew exactly what to do. They completely bought into what Tom was selling. So I am banking on, having listened to Taj and having watched them play, that they're going to be better together, especially defensively, than they were a season ago. And Stacey, I'm with you. Look, they snuck up on a lot of people, especially in a weird pandemic year. There weren't a lot of fans in the beginning, but I think the Knicks have at least helped their problems in the playoffs because you got guys that can create. You have Kemba, who wants to prove that he can still play at a really high level, playing at the Garden. And you've got Fournier, which that contract was gigantic, but Fournier can create his own shot and he can get off the dribble a little bit. So you now have two guys who can help in the postseason, because in that series against Atlanta, it was like, all right, Randall, well, you're not scoring. And then Derek could, but he got a little tired at the end of that series. So all that being said, my whole point with the Bulls is, the issue to me is, in a best case, you've now traded all your picks and you've made all these deals, at least for the next 3 years or so. In a best case, what is this team? What is the ceiling? Maybe the second round, maybe if everything comes to be. I was a little surprised at how all in they went, especially when they made that DeRozan move, because I like DeMar a lot, but DeMar at that point and dealing away what you did to make that happen, that had me scratching my head a little bit.
But Nick, you covered Garpax, for over a decade, and their strategy was try to carve out cap space and hope somebody will take your money in free agency. Hope you'll get lucky in the lottery. It happened once with Derrick Rose. And they constantly went after these big name free agents and they never got him. And now you got a guy like DeMar DeRozan, who was sought after, maybe not at elite dollars by the two Los Angeles teams, but they both would have brought him home. There were other good teams looking at him, including Miami. And he said, I know Mark Eversley. I have a personal relationship with him from back in Toronto. And they got the guy they wanted. I think that speaks volumes to Bulls fans, that you got a proactive front office that said, to hell with the draft picks, to hell with good luck, and maybe we'll fall into something. They went out and said, we're going to get better right away. And I think for the fan base, that is a welcome breath of fresh air.
Mark, you're absolutely right. And we sat there and watched it for all those years. They identify a guy they wanted and they got him. And you know what my argument back would be? Well, they got DeMar DeRozan. I mean, they got DeMar
DeRozan averaged 21.5 points and 7 assists last year. He was the point forward for the Spurs. I mean, he's going to fit nicely in that offense.
I think he will, but this is not a championship caliber piece that's going to take your team to a different point. And that would be what I would say all along. There's a reason why Toronto was moving off him. I mean, the reality is when they got to the postseason, DeMar's game changed a little bit, and he wasn't the same kind of player. And I know he had a good year in San Antonio, but guys, you take a deeper look into those defensive numbers. Like, we think Zach LaVine, while he has improved defensively, is getting a little bit better. Look at DeMar's numbers. Yikes. Like, they are not good at all. So
that's gold medalist Zach LaVine, Nick.
I mean, soon to be max deal, Zach LaVine. Well, power to him, but damn, I mean, this is what gets me. Because I mean, I have so many friends in the organization still and outside in Chicago, and they are pumped up, as they should be, because there is a reason to hope. But when you start looking at the numbers and looking at the money that's coming Zach's way, this team, I'm hoping for the best because I want people to be happy. Because I do not.
That's Nick's advice for the day. Everyone, be happy.
I don't see it, and I hope that we're all sitting there a year from right now, and we're sitting at Joe's or something in Chicago, and you guys.
Oh, we'll be in Grant Park next
like,
year.
Hey,
Nick, after the parade.
Nick, I listen, Nick. I'm still on the Bulls and the Nick thing. Okay, the Bulls are gonna be better than Knicks. I'm sorry, they are.
Oh,
and we'll have to bet.
God,
We're gonna bet. I'll bet you dinner. I'll bet you dinner.
Done.
Anywhere,
done. Wherever you want.
Wherever you want. Y'all heard it now. America,
yeah, we got
you hear
witnesses.
this? The Bulls will be better than the Knicks this year. Okay, now my other point.
Lukin on that too.
My other point right now, with you, Nick. Here it is. Okay, because you like that. You like that. That person that comes in. You like the Grim Reaper. You just come in. We know we got to go at some point. We just don't know when. And then all of a sudden, you just show up and like, oh, it's time to
today,
go.
Yeah.
It's today. Okay, that's what you've been like on this show. But I love you like a brother. But I'm going to say this, okay? The Bulls and what they're doing, they are first of all, they're changing their whole look to the outside world, okay? They're showing people, they're showing teams, they're showing the fan base that we want to win, and we want to win now. And because Nick, the reputation of this organization has been horrible. I mean, from outside players, guys talking, whether it been guys that played here before saying, don't come here, don't do this, don't do that. That's been the reputation of the Bulls. And now you've got a front office that players are looking and say, man, they're trying to do something in Chicago. They're trying to build something for the future. Now, when you start talking about DeMar DeRozan at that 3-year price, listen, was it expensive? Yes, it was. Okay. But on the same token, they still got Zach LaVine, who's very young in his 20s. You've got a young point guard in Lonzo Ball, who's like 23 years old. Kobe White. You got Patrick Williams. The key pieces of the future are still babies, basically. And you bring in a veteran like a DeMar DeRozan who can play multiple positions, Vucevic, who's an all-star caliber center. The pieces are there for them to win now. Is it a championship caliber team? No. I'm not saying that it can't be, but on paper, they still are missing some pieces to make that championship jump, okay? But at the same time, when you look at the Eastern Conference, nobody scares you other than the three teams we named earlier. Because if Brooklyn is healthy, Nick, would you agree if Kyrie Irving doesn't have a hurt ankle, they beat Milwaukee in that series without James Harden and his hamstring? Because yes, they would have won that series. And you throw Harden healthy this year, because you got to believe Harden's going to come back, be in the best shape of his career after what happened last year. They're the team, in my opinion, and not to discredit Milwaukee because they earned their championship, but Brooklyn is the team to beat in the Eastern Conference when healthy. And so those three teams, are like, they're givens, but everybody else, I'm not sold on Atlanta. Atlanta was one of the worst teams the first half of the season. It was almost like they won the lottery when they fired their coach and then put Nate McMillan there, and it's all of a sudden they turned him around and he got him to play defense. Now you got to wonder, both them in New York, who have some young players, are they going to have that leftover, excitement from last year where they come in, they didn't work out hard in the summertime because they felt like they made it? Because that's what you have with young teams. When they have a great season like those two teams did last year, the kids don't work out as hard. They don't have the same mentality. They don't know how to sustain that type of growth. And that's what until I see it, I'm not sold on those teams.
And Stacey, I'm with you to a point, but I think this is where you and I just have a philosophical disagreement, because in my mind, I'm looking at the moves the Bulls made, especially after that DeRozan move. And I went, oh man, they have gone all the way in, dealt all these picks. And I think you and I both agree that it's not a championship contender. And that's where I have an issue, especially with that last move. I mean, the Lonzo move, Caruso, okay, like you're getting a point guard in here. The Vucevic deal, that was a hell of a lot to give up, but okay. And then okay, we're gonna throw DeMar DeRozan in here for $30 million a pop, and we're gonna give up these picks. I mean, this is a team now that has no picks. Like that's my point. You've gone all in for a team that, again, we can go back and forth on Atlanta, we can go back and forth on New York, but in a best case, they're the 4 or 5 seed. So,
but you got to start somewhere, Nick. It beats being on the outside looking in.
What else can you do? I think this is where I'm struggling with the moves. You've made these moves now, and let's say, for argument's sake, that the moves go better than I think they will, and Billy Donovan is a hell of a coach, and he makes it work, and DeMar DeRozan has an all-star caliber year, and Zach takes another step, and it fits with Vucevic, and the defense isn't as bad as we think. Okay, well, so now what do you do moving forward? Because your cap space is going to be completely gone, and we still don't know whether Jerry and Mike want to go all the way into the luxury tax once Zach comes to them and says, hey, I want my max deal. This is the team. So essentially what you're, I guess, banking on is the young core to grow together. And certainly, and we mentioned him several times, and he's a huge part of their future, is Pat Williams really developing to another level. But I guess all my hesitation is in you have solid young players, but to me, I don't think there's a superstar in any one of them. And when you don't have that superstar and you don't have that solid defensive base usually to build around, that's when you have problems taking a jump from, in this case, all the way out of the postseason to all the way back in and then trying to get up to the top of the East.
So, Nick, you don't think Patrick Williams has the ability to be an all-star caliber player? If
I think he could be.
The way he's shooting?
Stacey, I think he could be. And that really, to me, we can go back and forth on Zach and DeMar and Lonzo. Okay, maybe each one of them could get better and maybe they can play well together. If you're banking on the Bulls taking some huge step, and again, for argument's sake, putting themselves in the top 4 in the East, to me, you're banking on Pat Williams taking a huge leap in year 2. And it's possible. I've seen him enough. I've talked to enough people inside. I know they really like him, but I would be surprised if that leap, you start to see it this year the way we've seen some young players in the past. I think he's going to need a few more years to get that seasoning that he needs if he were to take that step.
Hey, Nick, last thing, you've already dumped buckets of cold water all over Bulls fans. But, put your reporter's hat on for me, and I know you said the Bulls don't have any more picks. How do you think this tampering thing is going to end up? I mean, when the Bulls didn't announce it, but it was reported at 5:01 that this complicated sign and trade transaction for Lonzo Ball was done. It sounds like Adam Silver wants to send a message, stop doing this. Do you think they're going to lose a first-round draft pick in this?
I don't know if it's a first-rounder, Mark, but I was listening to Bobby Marks the other day and what he said, and I've been talking to a few people around the league, and they do think the NBA is going to come down pretty hard. And I think what you're going to start to see a little less of is agents. In this case, Rich Paul had come out and said, hey, this deal's done. And I'm sure the Bulls front office is like, hey, whoa.
Yeah.
Some people were saying Gar dropped a dime on him. Gar works for the Pelicans now. That's the conspiracy theory that's out there.
But I do think the league's going to come down pretty hard because you're looking at the evidence and you're looking at what happened. And you're going, all right, well, what's the Bulls' argument? The argument is, hey, this thing was done a little while ago. So I think that they're in some serious trouble and they're going to lose.
I don't think they're going to do anything. Oh,
come on!
You're right.
After the Bucks last year,
they lost a second-round pick. They didn't even get Bogdanovich.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Hey, I know that we're ready to print playoff tickets here, and let's go to the other end of the spectrum because you got Harry on your wall. A team that's in full. Yeah,
rebuild. Mr. Cub, Nick Friedell. Yeah.
I mean, what would Harry Carey say about this team that's just completely flushed all their stars, and they're probably going to lose? They could lose 100 games this year.
Yeah, amazingly.
John, you know what he would say? He'd say, "This bud's for you."
Start drinking, Cubs fans.
Drinking,
yeah.
Oh,
yeah. He would say.
Yeah.
He would he'd bring everybody down to the restaurant, and he would start having to buy drinks for everyone.
Well, he did that the other day. We had a 2-hour rain delay, and there were storms all night, and they kept everybody there for 2 hours. So they were selling beer, so they're drinking the Budweiser for sure.
Well, Nick had a partial season ticket package back when the Cubs were bad, when they were trying to build back up, and he couldn't get rid of those tickets. And of course, Nick then became a meme from your shot of the agony of defeat in Cleveland in Game 7. But fortunately, that ended the right way, right, Nick?
Mark, no matter what happens until the end of time, they won.
They won, yeah, can't take that away.
I am glad I'm not paying for tickets now, because that would be a real tough pill to swallow. But they won. It's over. And my hope is truly that Cubs run was so much fun, and I hated to see it come to an end, but I understood why the moves were made. My hope truly for all my friends back in Chicago is that all these Bulls moves come together and it all works, because we know this. There's no better place to be when that team is winning, and that whole organization and the UC, everything is rocking. It is electric in there. The issue is it's been a long time since that's happened. And even more, while there's hope right now, and the Bulls should be selling hope, we don't have evidence to back it up. So hopefully in the first part of the new year that they can bring it together and everybody starts to take that leap. But I would be really interested in coming back to see how it all looks. Because,
Nick,
it'd be fun.
Dun, 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 dun. We have breaking news. I just got a text from Mrs. Friedell, your mother, and she said you're no longer welcome in the Friedell house with this attitude that you have came on the Gimme the Hot Sauce podcast and you have talked trash about the Bulls. She said you are no longer welcome. Don't come home for Thanksgiving. All right, so I'll text back and say, take it easy on him, Mom. He still loves you.
Stacey, I got to tell you this story before we roll out of here. The Lonzo deal comes down. She knew Vucevic well because she's lived in Orlando all these years since she was watching the Magic games. But as you know, she watches you, and it was Neil before, and now it's Adam, but she watches you guys every night. So I get this text as the Bulls are making all these moves, and it says, the Bulls are back. I was like, Mom, come on now. The Bulls are back. Like, let's pump the brakes a little bit, because I'm not sure if that's going to be the case. But she said, they are back. I'm telling you right now, it's going to happen. So she'll be right there with you in Grant Park, just going nuts if and when the time comes.
Yes.
The Bulls are back. Sounds like our guy, Sean Hiken, who always likes to put that on Twitter.
That's right.
Bulls are back.
Hiking.
Yeah. Hey, Nick, as we let you go, I promise you, when we promote the show today, episode 42 of Give Me the Hot Sauce, we're going to say we had Nick Friedell on, and there were two headlines. The Bulls are a fringe playoff team, and the Cubs will drive you to drink. So that's how we're going to promote episode 42, all right? With the great Nick Friedell. Keep up the great work at ESPN. We love seeing you on The Jump with Rachel Nichols and all the stuff you do for the network, all the great stuff you do on the website. You are a friend for life, and we appreciate you joining us on the show.
Guys, I missed you, and it's always great to hear from you. And truly, I hope that we're partying at some point here in the next couple of years in Chicago.
That is the great Nick Friedell.
Thanks,
We're going to go rapid fire coming up next. A lot of stuff going on around football and the major leagues. That's next. Give me the hot sauce.
Give me the hot sauce.
Welcome back. Give me the hot sauce, episode 42. And I got to say, we love our friend Nick Friedell, but we tried, Stacey. We tried to show him the light, and he's sticking with that fringe playoff team thing.
Well, Miss Friedell called me. She texted me, and I got her support. And Nick may not be coming home for Thanksgiving.
That's right. And I think she also ordered a bottle of Give Me the Hot Sauce, right?
She's gonna put it on his turkey.
Yeah.
So he can get.
That'd be pretty good, actually.
He's gonna get that. He's gonna get that
little
on his
bird.
turkey, little on his bird, and so he can get feel the heat of what we're doing, we're doing here, and give me the hot sauce of what the Bulls are doing. And I'm just disappointed in Nick because he's like that uncle that comes in with the bad news.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
I think you're going to win that bet, though.
I am going to win that bet, and we're going to go somewhere expensive. Me and you. I'm taking you, Whispers.
I was thinking.
Hey.
Oh, no, we were on the same page over here.
What are you talking about? Hey.
What about us?
What about us?
You went against.
I know that
What
song.
about
When I win the bet, I'll take you to somewhere nice. Okay.
You know, the whole time Nick was talking.
Hey, listen, you may not win the bet. You may not ever buy another shirt when I take you out to dinner when I win. So you better enjoy that shirt over there, Southside, because that might be the last one you get for a long time. Honey, I can't take you out tonight because I owe Stacey dinner.
No HBO Max.
No HBO Max. No bubble gum when you go to the store. I want to love some Hubba Bubba. I'm sorry, can't I?
You know what Nick should change his avatar to on Twitter? You know, remember the old Debbie Downer on Saturday Night Live?
How about Glum? We'll never make it. We're doomed. That's the guy you don't want by when you're in Vegas playing the craps. You're over there playing craps, and here he comes the cooler. All of a sudden, you've been winning the whole time. I've been winning the whole time. Here comes Nick Friedell.
That's Nick Friedell.
Nick Friedell comes up. Craps. Loser. 7 out. 7 out.
We'll never make
Nick's
it.
like, what happened? Like, it's the Nick Friedell curse. Jesus.
Hey, Stinger, let's pick up the mood. Let's go rapid fire. We've got some great stories to tell you about.
I've been shot.
This is going to be a banner year for rookie quarterbacks in the NFL, especially right here in Chicago.
Yes.
Finally, the Bears have a quarterback that's exciting the fan base, that's getting the national pundits excited. Justin Fields, it was just a preseason game, but 14 of 20, 142 yards. He ran for a touchdown. He threw for a score. And he showed poise. He showed maturity. And when this kid takes over as a starter, Bears have something special.
They better try him out there, get ready to try him out there week one if they want to get off to a good start. Listen, the kid's ready to play. He came in early. He came into the rookie camp. He learned the playbook. He understands what they're trying to do. He has a great feel for the game. And then also the fact that, when you watch him play, he reads defenses. He reads them very well. Eyes up the field always.
Very mature.
Listen, I'm not going to jump on Mitch Trubisky. Okay, a lot of people like to kick Mitch when he's down. I was a supporter of Mitch. He's a huge upgrade over Mitch. Bears fan. Huge.
Yeah, Stinger, you remember Stacey saying they should bring him back?
Yeah, I think he said they're going to bring him back.
I'm not going to stand down. I'm going to stand 10 toes in the sand, baby. I did say that, America. I said they should have brought him back. Wow. I said it, but after seeing, I might have had one of those moments, America. We got a good one.
Hey, Mitch is going to be at Soldier Field on Saturday with the Buffalo Bills as they play the Bears in a preseason game. That'll be interesting watching Mitch on one side and Justin Fields running the other.
The Chicago Bears fans cheer Mitchell, man. Cheer him.
I hope they do.
Don't boo him. He's a good kid, man. He was in a very tough situation. And see, I'm going to say this, Bears fans, that people tend to forget this kid was all-pro quarterback at one point in his career. Okay,
who are we talking about?
Mr. Trubisky. He was all pro. He was all pro. He was on the Pro Bowl. He was on the Pro Bowl.
Oh, he was like the 6th injury replacement.
Hey, Mark. See, that's what I'm talking about right here. But let me tell you something. See, Mark just threw a wet towel.
He's like Nick
on the
Friedell.
fire.
Felt like Nick Friedell.
Okay. I'm over here blazing about Mitch Trubisky, and he takes the wet towel and throws it on top of
We have to get the facts out there.
Listen, was he on? Did he play in the Pro Bowl? That's all I know.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I need to know. Because 10 years from now, Mark, he can tell his children and grandkids, your grandpa was a Pro Bowl quarterback. They're not gonna say, "Hey, Grandpa, Mark Shanowski said that you were like the 7th choice to be there." No. He's a Pro Bowl quarterback.
You know what that reminds me of? You guys ever listen to Cubs games on the radio with Pat Hughes and Ron Coomer? Every game, and I love Pat Hughes. Every game at the start, he says, joined by longtime major leaguer and all-star Ron Coomer. Ron Coomer made one all-star team because he was on the Minnesota Twins, and every team has to have a representative.
That's, you know what? Hater in the house. We need to have a segment. We need to create a segment called Haters. Who's the biggest hater? Who's hater in the house? That's what we're going to have. Hater in the house, a new segment.
Hey, you know what, though? I want to send a shout out to Andre Drummond. He saved his kid's life in the pool. So I saw that. New respect for Andre Drummond.
And you know what? That was pretty scary.
Yeah, it was.
And you know what really caught my eye is the two women who were standing there. Andre Drummond was probably cooking something in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And this baby sitting on the edge, and they're not even paying attention to him. And then the baby falls in. Now you think, now I know mothers will dive into a bowl of Jell-O to save a child. Okay.
Maybe they were the babysitter.
I don't care who it is. That's somebody. You gotta save the kid. They were just sitting like, oh, and then here comes Andre Drummond coming in. That was disturbing to me. That was disturbing to me that you didn't jump in that water to save that baby. What if Andre Drummond wouldn't have been there? What if he would have been outside getting the mail or something or gone?
Wouldn't have taken long. Yeah. Got to act fast. So
good job, Andre.
That's my vow on Give Me the Hot Sauce episode 42. I'll never say another bad thing about it.
You better not, because he already told me he was coming.
Until next season
He'll be here this year.
Gotta lock the door.
Hey, you got the rifles ready?
Come on, John.
So I can imagine the Walsh household was fixated on Mac Jones making his NFL debut. It was a Friday night game, I believe. What did you think of the rookie?
Well, that was a big TV night, and I don't want to segue to our next thing about the Field of Dreams. But the Field of Dreams was on. I think we were on a phone call with you and our sales team.
Shout out to Dave Reedy.
Dave Reedy, baby.
Yeah. And welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard.
And speaking of shout outs, my PGF was playing on NBC Sports Chicago. So I was watching some PGF, the Beverly Bandits. The Beverly Bandits, man. They're a dynasty in softball.
Oh, the Beverly
Bill
Bandits.
Conroy's at top of they're unbelievable. Wow. The 12U team that I covered out there was on that night. So we had that. And I tell you, all aside,
sounds like a lot of excuses.
I really, really liked Mac Jones.
Yeah,
I really liked his. He threw that out, accurate, on the money, third down pass. That's the making of a quarterback that can move the chains and keep your offense on the field. So yeah, he'll be. But I just want to say I love Cam Newton. I watched him last year. The guy plays, harder than any NFL player I've seen.
Preseason.
It's going to work in New England. They're going to find a way for Cam to be part of that.
It's
offense.
preseason.
It's preseason, but we're never.
Was he going to play tight end?
No, he's not. He's not going to play tight end, but they're going to find a way to get Cam in the offense.
It's preseason.
Stacey, what other NFL rookie quarterbacks are high end? You got Trey Lance. You got Zach Wilson.
Trey Lance looked good, man, but it's preseason.
Yeah.
But listen,
good.
Zach, what's his Zach
Wilson.
Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were questioning that pick.
Trevor Lawrence, I should mention, the number 1 pick in the draft.
The natural.
They were pretty conservative.
The natural.
80-yard pass.
Very vanilla offense.
Yeah, very vanilla.
How about Dwayne Haskins come back?
Where?
Yeah,
Pittsburgh.
in Pittsburgh.
Oh,
looked fantastic.
Did he?
Yeah, he played okay, but again, it's preseason playing against third teamers.
Yeah. It's preseason.
Yeah, but he was throwing on the run.
Yeah, that's why. Listen, as much as I'm excited about Justin Fields, you got to remember it's preseason.
Exactly. How about the rifle, Stinger? You got another one in you? So you teased the Field of Dream games. I got to tell you, I've been doing this for a long time, so you get kind of jaded watching television productions. And of course, John could comment even better on this because you produced and directed so many big events. I thought Fox was fantastic in the way they portrayed the Field of Dreams. I thought Major League Baseball did a great job. The players walking in out of the cornfield, Kevin Costner let them out
gripping.
There. I mean, it was so unlike what Major League Baseball usually does. I mean, it was a great event, and it just captivated you from start to finish.
I was in the Wynn Sportsbook, and that place went crazy. It was divided between the New York fans and Chicago fans. I've never seen a crowd go crazy like that. It was awesome.
I tell you what, I was watching it because I just wanted to see that, see that part of it because I wanted to know what they were going to do, what they were going to do, and then Kevin Costner came out.
And then that ending.
And I was just Kevin Costner comes out and I'm like, oh man, this is getting ready to be like lit. And then all of a sudden it was quiet, they were playing a little music at the Field of Dreams. And then all of a sudden you start seeing the players come out of the cornfield and I just got goosebumps. I was like, oh, this is the one game I wanted to go to. I should have went to.
A shout out to my friend who directed Matt Gangle, who I worked with in Milwaukee. He directed this. He directs all the games, the All-Star and the World Series. And he
I got that was your phone. That's your phone?
That was Matt right there. Thank you for the shout out.
Wow. I told you guys.
We work fast on Give Me the Hot Sauce.
Behind the scenes photos that were sent to me. And little did you guys know the storm came through on Tuesday and wrecked their set and destroyed their cameras.
Wow. No, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
And it then flooded. Here's the cables all flooded.
Jeez.
And so they had a scramble. And this crew is unbelievable. They travel for all the remotes. And there's the set right there with Kevin Costner.
That was cool, man.
And they did a hit in game on it. About how they had to prop up all the cornfield because all the corn stalks were toppled over, and I got really excited as most people. Susan didn't necessarily jump out of her chair as much.
I'm the only person in America that I was like, what a load. It was so fabricated and fake. The movie wasn't, I mean, it was like a
Paging
Hollywood.
Nick Friedell.
Oh. Is Nick in here? Is that Susan Friedell?
I felt like it was a baseball game played in a Hollywood set with like buildings.
But that's what's so great about it.
Why is that great? Like, why didn't they go to Bull Durham Stadium in North Carolina and play like?
It's not like they went to a little league field with 200-foot fences or something. It was a major league quality stadium.
I'd like to get Mark Segura, who does
Get Mark in
MLB
here.
on
Yeah,
Fox.
get Mark in here,
He
Mark.
works all the games. What was your take?
So my take is, with the exception of Suzy here, it was the highest rated baseball
In 16 years, right?
16 years, yeah.
It was spectacular.
Wow.
Very, very happy with everything. Everybody that was there, I've worked with these guys, for over 25 years, and they put their all into it, and I think it came out great. The big thing is, where would you guys like to see another sport played? Like, what would be your football, college football? Would you like to see an NFL game played in Notre Dame or something like that?
Well, they've done some of that, where they've had college teams play in NFL stadiums.
Mm-hmm.
But, since we're, Stacey's a basketball guy, what do you think about, going to Rucker Park or Venice Beach or something like that? Those have been a couple locations that have been thrown out.
That would have been nice. That would have been really cool to have an outdoor game.
Have the Knicks and the Nets play at Rucker Park.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
No, the Knicks and the Bulls.
Okay.
And then the Bulls win. Then I'm looking for Friedell to take me out to my restaurant, because, he's making that ESPN money, that big money now.
He is.
So, he's no longer, he's making that little scratch he was making when he was here.
It is kind of gimmicky, but it looks amazing.
Man, you do it once a year.
On the aircraft carrier, remember North Carolina played?
Yeah.
I did a game. I did a game for ESPN. It was on the aircraft carrier. It was like Kentucky was on there. It was North Carolina. And when you go on these big aircraft carriers, the first thing you say is, how are they going to do a basketball game on this?
Yeah.
And then when you get up there and you see how big these aircraft carrier is, you could put like 3 courts up there and have a basketball game. It was amazing. And I was like, what if the ball goes out and goes over the water or whatever? They have all they have all these nets to make sure that doesn't happen. Yeah. But it's awesome.
King, I've been on the USS Midway. You realize they land planes on those.
Who the hell do you think you're talking to?
I know you're a military guy, but you're Army Marine.
I know that, John.
No,
See, this is what I wish
realize
America. This is when I wish I had that dog shock collar that I could put it around his neck and shock the shit out of him.
You're landing planes.
Yeah.
I know you can land
the hardwood now.
I know you can land a plane there. Okay. I know my history, John.
I know you do.
I'm offended.
I'm not. I'm just saying.
I'm leaving this.
They're
shit
like
right
cities.
now. America. This comment really hurt me.
Oh my God! Am I going to get
this is why. Listen,
We
America
ain't talking about chicken either.
This is comments. This is why these comments like this, America, that John just made. This is why Michael Jackson left the Jackson 5. And I may be doing the same thing. I may be moving off on my own solo.
Are you going to moonwalk out of here?
I'm going to slide on out of here, America. I love you. This has really hurt me. Tito Jackson over there. This is why Michael Jackson left the Jacksons. He's not appreciated. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, America. I didn't want to bring that up. This is an inside family thing that we got going on. And, like Michael, I moonwalk on out here, do my own Pepsi commercials, do my own thing. I'm sorry, America. You may not see the team. I'm bringing Mark with me though. Mark.
Yeah, that's right.
And my boy Whispers. I don't know about those Walshes. They stick together over there. You can't say nothing to John Walsh without Southside ready to come over and come across the table to attack me. And Susan used to always be on my side. That's what was so cute about it. She always protected me, but now she don't protect me. She attacks me.
I'm going to hit the rifles for you, Mark.
Hey, if you listened to episode 41, and you really should have because it was fantastic, our guy Whispers was not with us. You've been on the road to Nashville and Las Vegas. Got any stories from the road?
Well, Nashville is making Vegas look weak these days. There's no rules there.
Okay.
I mean, you're walking down the sidewalk, all of a sudden there's a big John Deere tractor hauling a giant trailer full of drunk people just drinking beer at 8 a.m.
Wow.
And you're wondering, this can't be legal. It's not even a license plate.
Were you on that tractor?
I did climb on.
Yeah.
It was on the way to the the convention center. So yes.
And what about Vegas? Do you take in any interesting shows?
No, I didn't. But it was weird. It was a much younger crowd, not as many, the old ladies with the blue hair, if you know what I mean.
No bathroom encounters you want to tell us about or anything like that?
No, I avoided those this time.
He had astronaut diapers on. Oh.
Yeah, sometimes you got to be at the craft stables for 4 or 5 hours, so those come in handy.
No pun intended.
There you go. Nicely done, Southside.
But they changed their slogan there now. It's what happens in Vegas only happens in Vegas instead of stays in Vegas.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Herpes.
I knew you got me, Susan. There we go. I knew she'd be there for me.
She's on fire.
Boom.
She caught that one. She's like,
Yeah,
"Took that out."
Whispers never disappoints.
Never.
Hey, before we get out of here, we want to send get well wishes to Stacey's 2 pups, Kobe, Kai, and Brixton. And tell us a story about what you've been through with your pups, and hopefully they're doing better.
America. I just want you to say, I'm a dog lover. All you avid dog lovers out there, do me a favor. Protect your dogs at all costs. If your dog goes to a kennel and gets kennel cough, treat that dog.
Keep them away from other
Keep
dogs.
them and don't bring them to a dog park with 100 other dogs. We had a pandemic.
COVID.
It's like COVID, doggy COVID. We had a pandemic at my dog park. Like 25 dogs got sick with kennel cough based off of one person bringing their dog that was sick to the dog park. So my 2 little puppies who were vaccinated, they got kennel cough. So I've been cleaning up doggy throw up, nasal congestion all over. It's America. I don't really want to tell you what I've been doing.
If you're eating lunch or dinner now,
yeah, if you're eating lunch and dinner, I'm sorry. Okay, this is the pain that I've had to endure since Thursday. Okay, but the good news is they're on antibiotics. They're going to be okay, and I don't think I have to clean up any more doggy vomit anytime soon. But I appreciate all the mothers out there who have to change diapers, who have to clean up spit up. I'm never going to say anything about you guys ever again. I'm supporting you. I'm supporting every mother has to clean up spit up because I'm telling you, that's all I've been doing. Oh, Lord help me.
I'd just like to say that's our dog, Brady, the yellow lab. And we had to put him down this week. And
oh, man.
Oh, geez.
This has really brought the show down.
Wow.
This brought the show
sorry
down.
to hear that.
Oh, I'm about ready to cry on the back set over here. Oh, my goodness.
Where's the puppy, Mac Jones?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So
yeah, John, we're sorry,
Jeez,
man.
that's-
R.I.P. Mr. Brady.
Mr. Brady's gone, but he's not forgotten.
Exactly.
And he will
All
be
right.
in your life forever. Because aren't you guys keeping him? Like, are you stuffing him or something? What are you doing?
No.
What are you
He's,
doing?
We're going to spread his ashes along our daily walk.
Oh,
that's nice.
That's awesome. So he'll always be there.
See? Yep. Come on, Mark. What do you got to pick it up?
Oh, yeah.
I was going
This is what we need. This is what we need.
Yeah, maybe we
Whispers.
need
Give us
whispers.
I was going to end the show on an optimistic note, and all of a sudden,
I was going to say they could give the ashes to the neighbor that Brady knocked off the bike.
that's right.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The guy that ran him over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There
Here,
you go.
here, this is what you did,
Yeah, look
buddy.
at what you did.
Yeah, here you go. Look what you did. He never fully recovered when you ran him over the damn
Now,
bike.
now how do you feel?
Yeah.
Well, we are all dog lovers here at Gimme the Hot
Yes, we
Sauce,
are.
and we certainly feel your pain. That's stuff that
you.
you
That's
have
tough.
to deal with
That's
that.
tough.
And Stacey, we hope your puppies get better real soon.
Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that.
And with that, wow. It's a good thing it's happy hour because the keg is flowing, and I think we all need a drink after this one. So wherever you are, enjoy your favorite beverage. And we hope you continue to be a regular listener of Gimme the Hot Sauce. Remember, you can always find the show on YouTube. Just search for Gimme the Hot Sauce, and you can find Stacey's sauces.
Yes.
St. Pat's.
Oh, we've St.
Hot
Pat's
sauce.
Verde hot sauce, barbecue
Yeah.
sauce. Go to GimmeTheHotSauce.com and get your bottle today. And remember, she'll like it too. Drive home safely, Chicago.
We'll see you next week.
Woo. Sriracha.